Liverpool go to Ellen Road and defeat Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds side by 3-0 with a thoroughly impressive performance. Goals from Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Fabinho got the job done for Jurgen Klopp's team, but the day will be marred by that injury to Harvey Elliott that unfortunately he picked up at the beginning of the second half. A challenge we'd seen the Leeds player sent off. We will get into the reaction to that, of course. We'll talk about the split in the Leeds fan base. Some of them applauding Harvey Elliott as he went off the pitch. Others, unfortunately, as per James Pearce of The Athletic, singing always the victim and the home end as he went off with an injury. That's not a great look at all. But what we can say is it was a great performance from the lads. And I was thoroughly impressed from start to finish with how we went about it today. The chances that we created. You know, we start with the team selection. We look back and we see that midfield is Fabinho, Thiago and Harvey Elliott, and immediately you're thinking this has the ability, this has the potential to be absolutely top notch, and it was so. Right from the off, we've seen that Thiago was dictating stuff in the middle of the park, finding Harvey Elliott at will. Elliott was doing really well, drifting into good positions, and the link-up play was top notch, be it the left side or the right side. We were just cutting Leeds to ribbons. And how we weren't 3 or 4-0 up at half time was just a mixture of poor finishing, some good Leeds defending and a few other frustrations. But the lads kept going, started the second half just as well. Eventually got the second breakthrough from a set piece. Ball nodded down to Fabinho from across. Fabinho had 2 stabs at it, second time put the ball in the net. And then eventually Sadio finished it off with a good goal for him after a game that should have seen him score 3 or 4, to be quite honest with you. But I'm not going to be negative here with a 3-0 away from home win, a clean sheet, 3 points, 10 out of 12 in the league. The only downside today is, of course, that what looks like serious injury to Harvey Elliott, and you could see straight away from the moment it happened, Mohamed Salah's reaction let us all know that, alright, the medical team needs to get on here, this looks serious. And again, Harvey Elliott, if you checked out his Instagram story as well, just a brilliant, positive vibe from him, putting a thumbs up picture on Instagram as he was heading off in the ambulance as well. So we all wish Harvey Elliott a full and speedy recovery, of course, and we'll await for further updates on the club as to what the situation is where Harvey Elliott. But you gotta love this man's enthusiasm. As I said, he's infectious. He's a lovable little lad, isn't he? And I think he's won all of our hearts over, to be honest with you, Harvey Elliott. He had done so before today's game, but we've said it before, we will say it again. That young man has the world at his feet and has a huge future in the game. Sadio Mane, a day of frustration for him today, ladies and gentlemen. He did get himself a goal, but let's be honest, you know, he missed what we call us old schoolers an open net, even though it was a bit behind them, but he should have scored, to be honest. It was a great ball in from Jota. Sadio Mane was set up a couple of times by Salah as well, and between blocks and saves just didn't look like he was getting the breakthrough. But to me today, I thought Mohamed Salah was absolutely sensational. Everything good about our attack, Mohamed Salah was involved in it, whether it be picking out great passes, whether it be diversionary runs between himself and Diogo Jota to open up space for Mane at times. It was just one of those days where we just say we were at it. We were at it today, and I thought the lads were fantastic. I do. It's a strange feeling because I'm obviously full of pride in the performance. I'm obviously buzzing with the 3 points, a clean sheet, another goal for Salah, but every time you feel the happiness, your mind just goes back to young poor Harvey Elliott and that situation with him. So that is what will be the major talking point of today, and rightly so. But all in all, it was a very, very good performance from the lads today. And I thought Klopp got the team selection spot on. The substitutions as well, I don't think we can really argue about them. Henderson was getting ready to come on. Unfortunately, he was brought on not in the way we would have liked, obviously, with this Harvey situation. And then Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was brought on later in the game as well for Thiago Alcantara, and he had a good impact when he came on. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, again, some good direct running from him, tried to create opportunity, running into space. It's just positives. I don't really have any negatives about that performance at all today. Matip and Van Dijk looked assured at the back. Robbo and Trent were at their brilliant best, bombing forward down the flanks. And I love that midfield trio. I know we won't get to see it for a while now, but it just goes to show you, if Thiago is full of confidence and ability, he does bring a little something to our game. And what I would say is this is a big chance now for Naby Keita, because it looks like Klopp will use Henderson a bit more sparingly as the season goes on. Maybe we'll see Henderson against Milan, I don't know, but to me this looks like a very good opportunity for either Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Naby Keita to try and nail down a starting berth in that midfield. If we're going to go with a Fabinho, a Thiago and somebody else on the left-hand side, you know, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Naby Keita have an opportunity here to really put themselves in the manager's thinking. Keita came on as well before the end of the game. So yeah, all eyes will be on Wednesday in Jurgen Klopp's team selection ahead of the Champions League game against AC Milan. And of course the Reds play Crystal Palace, 3 p.m. kickoff next weekend. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering how you can go about watching next weekend's 3 p.m. kickoff, because they are blacked out in the UK, let me introduce you to Surfshark. It's an app or web browser extension that allows you to browse the internet anonymously and unlock the world's largest Netflix libraries, including the USA and Japan. It also keeps you anonymous and secure from hackers, particularly if you're out and about in public, whether you're in college or at a cafe, a shopping centre. Surfshark secures your data with industry-leading measures using uncrackable encryption and the most secure VPN protocols. It is really easy to install and runs on all of your devices. It's a couple of clicks and you're set up and running. Today, we can get you 83% off and an extra 3 months entirely free by clicking the link in our description below or using the code Anfield Agenda, all one word, at checkout. It works out at about €1.50 a month, and trust me, it is worth it, particularly for the likes of next weekend, particularly for the US and the Japanese Netflix libraries and stuff like that. As always, they have great customer service there to help you out as well. But for the sake of €1.50 a month or thereabouts, trust me, it is a quality product. Right, hope Elliott comes back the same, said gentle relaxation sounds. Hendo looked sharp when he was brought on, said Hex. A lot of people asking for updates obviously on Harvey Elliott's injury, which we just don't have at this moment in time. And again, yeah, people saying, what about Curtis Jones? Of course, Paul, yes, it's a very good show. A great opportunity for Curtis Jones as well to put himself in the manager's thinking. I'm just thinking, obviously, because Naby Keita started the season and played a few games, this will give him an opportunity maybe as well. But yeah, it looks like there's at least one midfield position up for grabs at the minute. Jones, Henderson, Keita, Chamberlain. You know, it's up to them to impress the manager and show them who he thinks deserves the shirt, because we can't argue with the way we started today. I thought we looked brilliant. I'm looking at the first goal here. Matip on one of those mazy runs of his. Little 1-2 with Mohamed Salah. And then he plays it out to Trent. And Trent, with a first-time cross into Mohamed Salah, who just opens up his body, uses his left foot and just guides it into the goal to give the Reds a 1-0 lead. Elijah said, I think Jones is better in midfield than Oxlade-Chamberlain. Pretty safe to say it was a broken ankle, said Hex. It certainly looked like that, or just above me from what we'd seen. But again, I don't want to give false information, so we will wait for the update from the club. Benjamin said, are you close to 119k? We're closing in on it, so if you haven't subscribed, please do take a second and hit that subscribe button. Somebody's saying, okay. Craig, stay, we love you, said Rurksy. Look, I will be here on Wednesday, as I said, with the watch along of the AC Milan game. I will have a preview show coming up as well. Jack Gill's going to be live after me. But look, we've loads to get through in this post-match show. So keep your comments coming in. Let me know who you thought was your man of the match, by the way, because I'll be giving you my man of the match at the end of this. Then Jack Gill will be coming on. He'll be giving you match reaction as well. And then I'll come back to do my player ratings to finish up today's content here on Anfield Agenda. Heartbreaking to see what happened to Elliott at movie Manhunter. Yes, it is. It's you know, it was a very weird scenario, because sometimes you see challenges and you go, that's a leg breaker. You know, you'd say somebody went in dangerous or high or studs up. And this was a challenge that probably when I was growing up or when I was playing football, it wouldn't have even been a free. But it was awkward the way it happened. It was like a scissors challenge from behind. I certainly don't feel the player had any intent to cause any harm to Harvey Elliott, but through a mixture of the way he landed and a little bit of misfortune, you know, that's why those type of challenges are outlawed in the game, the challenges from behind. And unfortunately today will be used as an example as to why those challenges are banned because of obviously what happened to young Harvey Elliott. The referee did consult VAR. Eventually a red card was given to Strike and he received his marching orders. Chubb said the Reds are on fire today, praying for Harvey. He'll be back even stronger, no doubt about that. Mane was very selfish today, said George Quinn. And you know what, George? Usually mate, I try and bat away any of the shouts around selfishness from our players. But I have to say today, yeah, it seemed like Sadio Mane may have gotten himself into that mindset of, I have to score today, or this is all I'll remember about the game, if you get where I'm coming from. Because he was given, I can think of 5 off the top of my head, very, very, very scoreable chances. And the one that he did score was, like I was saying to you guys all along, it was probably going to be the scenario where he didn't have time to think. The ball was played into him. He took a half touch, dropped his left shoulder and just turned, swiveled and hit it. And that's where he got his goal. But certainly Mohamed Salah had set up a load of chances from today. The one in particular I think that I'm thinking about, he played with the outside of his left boot, but it was the run from Diogo Jota that took 2 defenders with him, that opened up that pocket of space, and he quite simply should have scored, but his first touch took him too far wide and allowed the defenders to get back. But I just thought we were brilliant going forward today. The dynamism from Diogo Jota, from Mohamed Salah, and you know, from Mane, because he was occupying players even though he didn't have his greatest game. To miss these chances, I suppose you've got to get into the areas to miss them, don't you? And you know, he finally did get himself a goal, and I think a deserved goal. But for me, the star today was Mohamed Salah. I thought he was excellent. I thought Thiago as well in midfield was perfect. Exactly what we wanted from Thiago. Exactly what we thought we were signing when we brought him in from Bayern Munich. So, yeah, as somebody says, Pro Gamer says there, the Premier League race is on. It really is, mate. You know what I mean? We've got 10 points. United have 10 points. City have 9 points, I think, don't they? Chelsea, I think, around 10 points. Let me just have a look at the league table while we're live. Let's bring up the league table here. Let's open up the One Football app, yeah, and have a look at the league table. So United sit at top of the league table on goal difference, with Chelsea then in second. Both teams played 4 with 10 points. Liverpool, and they're all locked on 8 goals basically at the top of the league table. The goal difference from all of them is 8. Obviously United must have scored the most. So Liverpool, United, Chelsea all locked on there on 10 points from 4 games, 3 wins and a draw for each side. Manchester City in 4th place, Brighton in 5th then, played 4 with 9 points, and Spurs with their great start to the season. They had 3 wins from 3. That was brought to a crashing halt yesterday when they were beaten 3-0 by a very impressive Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. So yeah, the season is heating up, and like I said to you, we're going to be in this race. I think a lot of people would have looked at that game today and have realised, shit, Liverpool still are legit. Liverpool still are going to be a really big hurdle for anybody to cross in this season. We said it all along. Yes, it'll take a little bit of luck. Yes, we will have to have some rub of the green with some decisions and some injuries, but make no mistake about it, our starting 11 is as good as anybody's starting 11 out there. And 1 game scenarios, we can beat anybody. So, you know, it's a long season. We're only 4 games into it, but it's been a decent start from the lads. Certainly as good as anybody else. And that's the truth. We've had as good a start as anybody else, which is why we're sitting there joint top of the table with United and Chelsea with 10 points from 4 games. Adji said Fabinho was fabulous. He's always fabulous, dude, isn't he? He's just quality. Fabinho, he just makes everything look so easy. I thought Matip and Van Dijk dealt really well with Bamford today when they needed to as well. To be fair, Bamford did have 1 really good attempt from distance that had Alisson backpedaling, scrambling to touch it over the bar. But all in all, I thought we just took the sting out of Leeds. Excuse me. We just put them on the back foot from the first minute, and it was a great performance. I have no negatives really in that, other than, you know, the little bit of nitpicking and the selfishness from Sadio and the chances he missed. Look, if you're going to miss them chances and you're going to have one of them days, do it in a game where we win 3-0. And, you know, nobody's going to be overly fussed. Look, it will be brought up to his attention. Of course it will. If I'm Mohamed Salah, realistically, I probably am having a word in his ear, because I thought Salah was extremely unselfish today. I thought he was very generous in trying to create opportunities for those in and around them. And most importantly for me, though, is I got an indication there from Salah today. Man's playing with a smile on his face. He's loving his football. He's loving life at Liverpool. And look, yes, I'm reading between the lines, and yes, I'm kind of putting two and two together and coming up with whatever, but he doesn't look like a man to me that wants to leave the football club. He looks like a man to me who's ready to sign a contract and commit the best years of his career to Liverpool Football Club, and we all hope and wait for that news from the club if it ever happened. Tom Story said never a red. Look, Tom, I've got to say, my initial instinct was the same, mate. I looked at it initially and thought, yeah, one of those challenges from behind, got the ball. But there's a reason why those type of challenges, mate, I guess, are outlawed in the game. And look, I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say that I wasn't surprised when the red card came out. I was, mate, I was. It wasn't one of those, like, I see somebody come, lose control, go in, studs down into somebody. I hear you. I get where you're coming from, mate. But at the end of the day, really, I don't care about whether it was a red card or not. And I don't mean that rudely. I only care about what's the situation is with Harvey Elliott. And that's where my thoughts are right now, is with Harvey Elliott and his recovery. And I want to take a second as well to acknowledge the two different types of Leeds fans that were at that game today. There was the Leeds fans that were applauding Harvey Elliott as he went off the pitch, and which Harvey Elliott responded back to them by applauding them as he was carried off. But I didn't hear this, of course, because I watched the game in silence, but it was reported by James Pearce of The Athletic, and I think many other journalists, that there was a section in the home end from Leeds that were singing Always the Victims as Harvey Elliott gets carried off, which you don't need me to say that. The words speak for themselves. It's look, we have arseholes in our own fan base. I'm not trying to say Leeds are the worst club in the world here, far from it, but I'll never understand how that could go through anybody's head in that moment, in that scenario, when a player is down, seriously injured on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? I thought as a society, as football fans, I thought we were better than this. Yeah, so look, that's a bit of a downside, but look, that's for Leeds fan base to sort and deal with themselves. All we can do is look at our own perspective, and I'm just so proud of Harvey for the way he's conducted himself again, and I've no doubt he will work night and day. He will go at it 100% to try and get back playing football as soon as possible, because you don't get to where Harvey Elliott is without having that something special about you as both a footballer and a person. And again, if today didn't already make you love Harvey Elliott even more, I don't know what will. The lad's he's just a beam of positivity, isn't he? And we need more Harvey Elliott's in the world. We need more people with that attitude and that positive outlook. So he will make as speedy a recovery as possible. We know he'll be given the best of care and rehab by the club as well. And yeah, it was just so unfortunate for the young man today. It really was. But what a lad. What a young man. So proud. So proud that he's a Red. We'll do the player ratings, Lewis, in a few minutes, mate. I'm going to go off in a few minutes. Jack is going to go live then with his match reaction in about 5 minutes or so. So a few more minutes of me on here. So keep your comments coming in. And then I'll be back after Jack, and I'll do the player ratings as well, which you guys will get a chance to vote in the live chat. So make sure you've got your notifications turned on for that one. And again, folks, look, take a second, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. Anfield Agenda is heading towards 119,000 subscribers. We need your help to do it. It just takes 1 second to hit that button, but it means an awful lot to us and our community moving forward. Bottom right hand corner, you know what to do. Gonna miss you, Craig, said Liam. Much love, Liam. You got me Wednesday, dude. I'll do a pre-match match prediction as well, prediction video. And yeah, Jack will be here with a post-match show after this finishes as well. But look, we've got Wednesday, Champions League, lots to look forward to. And as I said, we are working hard behind the scenes. We are working hard to single out and find those people who are sending the threats and abuse. And we are working hard to try and get it to a situation where my family, not me, because I'm a big and bold, ugly fella, I can look after myself, that my family feels like it's okay and safe for me to carry on. Because at this moment in time, unfortunately, they don't feel that way. So all is not lost. Stay with us. Don't be doing nothing, but keep your comments coming in. Joanne, I agree. There are many Americans who wish they could have. I don't know what that's about. I'm not getting into politics. Joanne wants a bit of Newland Voider. Why not, Joanne? Seems as good a time as any to get a bit of Newland on here. If you don't know what Newland Voider is, he's this mad dancing alien dude now on the screen. Go on, Newland. You're a genuinely nice guy, full of passion and heart. Thank you, Simon. That's how I'd like to think of myself as well. I throw in cranky in there because I am a bit cranky at times, mate. I certainly know how to moan at times. I think that's fair to say. Fans need to stop booing at players for stupid reasons. Yeah, look, I've no problem when they were booing Salah or whatever to try and get into their head. That type of stuff, it's par for the course in football. Players are used to it, but the snidey stuff around the injury just wasn't great at all, was it? Let's be honest. There's not a great look there in the game whatsoever. Where is he gone? I'm trying to get rid of Newland there. He's distracting me. Did I think it was a red? Tom, I've got to be honest with you, mate. Initially, it didn't even enter my head, mate. Genuinely, it looked like a challenge where he'd got the ball. But we know that challenges from behind are illegal in the game, and they are illegal for a reason. Now, I will say there was no intent whatsoever from the player to injure Harvey. None. Not from my reading of it. But it was a scissors tackle from behind, and the reason why it's banned is because what unfolded. It was Elliott's leg it looked like he was falling on or knelt on in the course of the challenge, not intentionally by the Leeds player, but it was consulted by VAR and they came up with a red. I don't know. I guess it's because the law is that you can't challenge from behind. But in live commentary at the time, I've got to say, I didn't even initially think about a free. I've got to be honest with you. It didn't enter my head. I'll be real. It didn't enter my head. But when you see it back and you see the type of challenge and you see why they're outlawed, I can see where they came to the conclusion. But I will say, I don't for 1 second believe that Leeds player intended any harm to Harvey Elliott when he made the challenge. But then what did get to me, by the way, I think Cooper made a similar challenge 10 minutes later down the other side. Now that wasn't even given as a free, by the way, but that annoyed me that they were going into a similar type of challenge. But look, that's just a pet peeve of mine. Did you know Thiago had an assist today? Yeah, for the Fabinho goal, if I believe correctly. It was him who knocked it down to Fabinho, who had one attempt at it and it was blocked, and then he had a second stab at it and steered it home. Craig smells lovely, says, you all right, Craig? I'm good, man. I'm good. Great to see John Hamilton back in the chat as well with a moderator spanner beside him where he belongs. Lovely to have you back in the chat, John, my man. Every single one of us, to a man, woman, child, goldfish, dog, teddy bear, or whatever, man, we all missed you. We know from our Discord group what you went through, buddy. I won't embarrass you publicly, but you were missed. It's lovely to have you back in. I know Dara and the Kate and the team of mods are delighted to have you back as well, John. So lots of love from all of us, mate. Right, what time is Jackie Boy on now?
Like 1 minute.
Right, I am going to leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Jack Gill, who's going to give you his match reaction, folks. But don't go anywhere, because I'll be back in about 25 minutes then after Jack with our player ratings video. So for now, I'll leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Jack Gill. You don't need to do anything, just stay on the page and you'll automatically be directed to Jack's video. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you to Surfshark again. Don't forget, link in the description below. 83% off and 3 months extra free by using our link below. Works out about $150 a month. Thank you to you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and I will talk to you in about 20 minutes. Up the Reds. Stay